Ever feel like someone's messing with your life? Like the universe is playing some kind of twisted game with you? Like some higher power just loves to see you squirm? You're not alone. People have felt this way for centuries. Yeah, the ancient Greeks felt that too. They believed their lives were like a chessboard for the gods, except they actually blamed the gods. And they had good reason to, and honestly, they weren't wrong. The gods were notorious for their meddling. See, the Olympian gods were the original influencers. They had followers, drama, and a flair for the dramatic. Forget makeup tutorials and unboxing videos. These guys were all about starting wars and manipulating mortals. Why? Entertainment, mostly. They found joy in chaos. Zeus, king of the gods, was basically the ultimate my dad never gave me enough attention figure. He had a temper and a penchant for drama. Throwing lightning bolts was how he dealt with his anger issues. Not very godly, right? More like a tantrum. Hera, his wife, was the queen of jealousy. She was always scheming. She spent most of her time getting even with Zeus for, well, being Zeus. Their relationship was a mess. Can you say toxic relationship? It was a never-ending cycle of revenge and betrayal, and don't even get me started on Ares, the god of war. He thrived on conflict. He was like that kid in school who always picked fights just for fun. He loved the chaos. The point is, the gods were powerful, petty, and definitely not above messing with us mere mortals. They treated life like a game, and we were just the pieces. Let's talk about the Trojan War. You know, that little 10-year family feud that inspired like a bazillion poems and movies? It's one of the most famous conflicts in ancient history, and its stories have been passed down through generations. Yeah, that one. The war that pitted Greeks against Trojans in a brutal struggle that lasted a decade. Turns out the gods were heavily invested in this war. They picked sides like it was the Super Bowl. Each god had their favorite team and they weren't shy about showing it. Team Zeus over here, Team Hera over there, and the humans, well, they were caught in the crossfire. Stuck in the middle like a bunch of ants at a picnic. They had no choice but to fight and suffer the consequences of the gods' whims. Need I remind you that the whole thing started because of a beauty contest? Aphrodite, the goddess of love, more on her later, promised Paris, a Trojan prince, the most beautiful woman in the world, and that woman was Helen. Problem was, she was already married to a king. King Menelaus of Sparta, to be exact, with an army that was ready to fight to get her back. So, yeah, maybe blaming the gods for everything is a bit much, but they definitely weren't helping. Their meddling only made things worse, turning a personal dispute into a full-blown war. Now you'd think Athena, the goddess of wisdom, would be above all this drama, right? Wrong. Despite her reputation for being the epitome of wisdom and strategic warfare, she had her moments of questionable judgment. Remember Achilles, the Greek hero who was basically invincible? The one whose name is synonymous with strength and bravery? Except for that one tiny spot on his heel? Yeah, that infamous Achilles heel. Well, that vulnerability was partly due to Athena's bad advice. She could have easily pointed out the flaw, but she didn't. See, Achilles' mom, Thetis, a sea nymph, long story, dipped him in the river Styx to make him immortal. She wanted to ensure her son would be invincible in battle. Only problem? She held him by his heel, which didn't get wet. That one dry spot became his only weakness. Athena could have warned them, but she was too busy helping the Greeks win the war. Her focus was on strategy and victory, not on individual vulnerabilities. So, thanks to Athena's not-so-wise advice, Achilles ended up dying from a poisoned arrow to his heel. That one small oversight led to his tragic downfall. Proof that even the smart gods can mess up big time. It just goes to show that no one, not even a deity, is infallible. Section 4, Aphrodite, the original drama queen. And then there's Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. This goddess was basically the original drama queen, always stirring up trouble. She started the Trojan War over a crush, for crying out loud. Can you believe it? Talk about high school drama, only with way more casualties and epic battles. Aphrodite wasn't just about love, though. She had other tricks up her sleeve. She loved messing with people's emotions, just for the fun of it. She could make you fall in love with anyone or anything just by shooting you with one of her magical arrows. One minute you're a respected warrior, the next you're head over heels for a cow. Don't ask, it's complicated. The moral of the story? Don't mess with Aphrodite ever, or your love life might end up as the plot of a Greek tragedy, full of heartbreak and drama. Section 5, Apollo, god of healing and plagues. Finally, we have Apollo, god of music, poetry, sunlight, and plagues. Quite the resume, right? Yeah, not sure who thought that was a good combination, but there you have it. Apollo was a bit of a hothead, to say the least. When he got angry, he would rain down plagues on entire cities. Literally. And you thought your allergies were bad? Think again. In the He sends a plague to the Greek camp because they insulted his priest. Talk about holding a grudge. Apollo was relentless. So the next time you get a bad cold, you can thank Apollo. Or maybe just blame it on the weather. Either way, stay healthy. In the end, the gods and goddesses of the Iliad are whimsical beings, treating mortals like pawns in their grand game. But it leaves us with a question. Is fate truly by the gods' design, or do we have a say in our destiny?